So I got these 30 markers from Ohuhu. It's a new collection, I believe, acrylic markers. I'm going to try them out and see what they can do and how they feel, what kind of ink they have, and I'm going to compare them to Posca acrylic markers, and we are going to try a few things to see whether we love them or not. So this is the package. So if I open it, I get this wonderful case, and when I open the case, I can easily take them. And then I see that I have some extra nibs here, which is really cool. So bigger nibs and smaller ones, because these are dual tips. I'm going to show you instructions and papers for swatching. Oh, which is really cool, because I have white and black paper for swatching. This should be interesting. So I'm going to do that now, so we can see how they act on white paper. And this is really thick paper, so I hope nothing will bleed. Okay, so let's do that. First, I'm going to do it on the white paper. And let's start from the beginning. So 101 white. Well, it's hard to do white here, so I'll skip that. And let's go to black. So just a few things about these markers when I hold them in my hand. So they're really good to hold in my hand. They don't seem too big or too small. A grip is good. So here I can see what color it is and number of the color. So obviously the thinner side is with a smaller nib for thin lines, and this is a bigger nib for bigger, thicker lines. And here I have instructions that first I have to do this, and then I have to push on the paper and then write with it. So let's try. So I pushed a few times on a separate paper so I can see the ink flow. Okay, that's black. The next one is light blue. It's hard for me to find it this way because they're not in order as they are here. So I'm just going to go through the case. So this one is V842. Okay, pastel lilac, and I'm going to try it here. So I didn't want to bother you by watching all this in detail because it was a long process. So what I had to do with each marker, because they're new, I had to do this, and then a lot of pushing down so the nib gets filled with ink. So this is the scrap paper that I used and just did this a lot of times for the ink to flow. So when your marker is new, every marker you need to do this. So let me tell you that I've done swatching on the white sheet, and well, I made quite a mess in some places because I'm not really patient or anything, but it doesn't really matter. you can see all the colors, and they have very many of these metallic ones. And what I've noticed is that painting with metallics is a little bit harder than with others, because I don't know, the ink is different, and in metallic paints you can see more of the lines later when it's dry, like in here metallic blue or metallic cyan. But all in all, I really love the colors, especially I have a lot of pinks like neon rose, neon pink, candy pink, and it's really, really neat. And I like the black because it's really opaque. So when it's dry, it's really opaque, and I love that. And let's check out the black sheet of swatching paper. So on the black background, you can see the lines more, so they are not so opaque, even these ones. Azure blue is quite opaque, but that's the thing with markers and black background, black paper. It always happens like this. And what I wanted to tell you also, that I never use acrylic markers to paint a large areas. I only use them for lettering or for doodles or something um, tinier than a lot of space, because these things happen. Let me show you again. Because I can see the lines in most of acrylic markers, and I don't like that. If I want to paint something with markers, I use alcohol markers. Um, but with these, I make a lot of, as I said, doodles, frames, lettering, and so on. So I'm going to show you how I do this. And I have prepared, let me put this aside. I have prepared my art journal here. So, okay, I'm just going to move the markers because I don't have enough space for everything. And I'm going to try to use them on the white background and on black, but this is not paper, this is black acrylic paint. So I wanted to try that out too. And I wanted to compare these markers with some Posca acrylic markers that I have. So these are the Posca markers I have. This is light pink, white, orange, blue, and bronze. So I'm going to pick some of the Ohuhu markers in these colors and try to write something here so we can see how they behave. Okay, so let's do this. Let's start with, I don't know, it doesn't matter. Let's start with pink. So this is Posca pink, and this is Ohuhu candy pink. Okay, and I had to shake these earlier, but I have to do it every time I use them again. Okay, so this is important with acrylic markers. Just a little bit. And then let's do some doodles and see how that works. Okay, very cool. Cool. And now let me use Posca. So it's a different color, so that's fine. But the flow and the ink are pretty much the same, and I love that. And let's just try the smaller nib or tip, because this is really cool with Ohuhu markers. They have the bigger and the smaller nib. So let's try this. I'm going to write something. Oh, it's really cool. It really makes thin lines. And Posca acrylic markers, um, they have this separately. So this is with the big nib like this, and you can buy the pink one with a smaller nib. There are different nibs to choose from. So let's try another one. So this is tangerine, or we can call it orange. Great flow. And the paper is watercolor paper. And this is Posca. It says here orange. So let's see. Again, a really nice ink flow. I love it. Different colors, but that's okay. So what I'm comparing is the quality of ink and how easy it is to draw with them. And let's try a bronze one. I really like this one from Posca. I hope it's not dry. I've used it so many times. Oh, it's really cool. It's really cool and easy to apply. And let's use Ohuhu bronze. Easy to apply too. It's much darker. And let's try this nib. Oh, it's really lovely. Really, really lovely. Okay, so I'm going to do the same on the black, and I'm going to use bronze and white because I believe they will be really, really nice on black background. And I'm going to use some of the neon colors. So let me check this one. So I would like to try neon pink and gold. So I've got here neon pink and gold, and I'm going to try something with them. Gold sounds really promising, so let's see. I want to use dots like I do on most of my art journaling pages, so let's see how that works. Oh, really nice. Really, really nice on black. Look at these gorgeous lines, and maybe a bigger circle. Okay, it looks lovely. Now let me try white. I mostly use Posca white pens on everything because they work really fantastically. Now let's try Ohuhu white on the black background. See how perfect those little dots are. I love it. And the line. Let's see the thinner lines. So earlier I didn't let the ink flow. So now, let's see. Wow. Loving it. Let's try smaller dots. Loving them. So this here is Ohuhu. So opaque. Love it. And let's try Posca, but I must tell you that this Posca marker is really old. Yes, it's really, really old, and I know there isn't too much ink in it, and the nib has been used so many times, so it doesn't give perfect circles. But that's not on Posca, that's on me and how how much I've used this acrylic marker. Yes, you see what happens when ink is out, but you don't have to throw away your markers because of that, because you can have neat texture like this. It's really nice. Okay, and let's try, what did we say, pink. I'm going with dots again. Oh, so cute. I already see myself using these all the time for my doodles and everything. I don't know which ones I like more, the thicker or the thinner lines. Everything is so amazing. Look at this. Wow, love it, love it. Love it. And this smaller nib is excellent for writing. And I really love how this turns out on black background. And next thing I'm going to try with Ohuhu markers is an art journal page, and I'm going to use a magazine image, and I'm going to show you. I prepared this magazine image. I'm just going to glue it down somewhere and then doodle on it as well, so I can see if these markers work on that, because I use very many images from magazines and I love the effect. So let us do that. So let's do this. The markers I chose are white because I have dark background, blue because it's in contrast with orange, orange because we have orange, and maybe some gold or bronze, we'll see. So let me see how this how these markers behave. So I'm going to use blue and try to decorate some of her dress, and light blue is here. I didn't like it really on the swatch. I think it's going to be better here, and on black it's really light. So let's try. I'm going to start with some dots. So I'm controlling the dots. These are really tiny. I can make them a bit bigger if I push down more, but I don't want to. Okay, nice. Now I'm going to use the smaller nib, and maybe I'm going to use some lines, for example, here. So they do good on a magazine paper. This is glossy magazine paper, and I love how they work. And just be careful on magazine paper, markers, especially markers, they dry slower than on paper, because this magazine paper doesn't absorb them as fast as ordinary paper. So let's try something with white. I'm going to try a halo around her. Nothing fancy. I'm just playing. Maybe like so. So now I'm doing this on the paper, not magazine paper. It's really lovely. And now I'm going to switch to the smaller nib and add some lines too. I'm not being careful. So it's really consistent. I don't have to repeat any of the lines because it really produces consistent ink, and I can do it fast or slow. And let me try something else. Maybe on her face. I want to add some dots on her forehead and under her eyes. And because this is really tiny, I can do that. Okay, let's use tangerine so it agrees with the dress. Maybe we can do something here. So this is just me experimenting with the markers. Wow. The flow is really amazing, really amazing. And I'm going to do some here as well. amazing. I thought that maybe markers will look a bit transparent on a magazine paper, but no, they look really, really cool. So let's use that blue again and maybe add some lines here. It looks like almost like white because this is light blue. Let's try with the thicker nib. Okay, now it's a bit more obvious that this is blue, and I want to try this. Was this gold that we used? Yes, but let's try bronze. Let's try it on the dress. It's not really contrasty enough with the orange, but it's nice. Let's try it here. The flow again, it's really amazing. And this should be like so with new markers where you have a lot of ink, but you also saw what happened with my Posca white that was out of ink. So let's see if we can combine these markers with Posca, because we already said that they are quite similar. So I'm using Posca blue, and I'm going to add some dots here. And now let's see what happens when the ink is quite dry. So here, I love it. I love that it's opaque. White is also quite opaque, but not 100%. I don't know if you can see it. Let me show you like this. This line, the white that I did, it's not 100% opaque. I'm okay with that. It's fine. But just so that that you know. And let me get a Posca white and I'll show you the difference. So I have a brand new Posca white. So I'm going to do a line here as well so we can compare the opaqueness. I'm going to do it here. Okay, for now it's really cool. The nib is not that thick. Maybe I can do it here. And then I'll use Ohuhu right next to it. And once that is dry, we will see if there's a difference in opaqueness. And these are both brand new. Okay, just started using both of them. So after a few minutes, I can tell you that Posca paint pen stay more opaque than Ohuhu. I hope you can see it. Let me show you. So I've painted with them at the same time, and now Ohuhu show that they have a tiny bit less opaqueness than Posca. So in conclusion, I must say that I really love these markers. They come in set of 30, and there are different colors to choose from, as I've shown you in these swatches, and they work really great on paper and on black background, on black acrylic paint. They are not as opaque. I mean, at least the white is not as opaque as in Posca, but all in all, I love that I have the choice of so many colors and metallic ones, and that they have two different nibs. So the bigger one and the smaller one. So that's pretty neat. So with this one you can make thicker lines, maybe paint larger areas, and the thinner one is really great for journaling, for writing, and for smaller things. So I'm going to share the link below the video where you can buy these markers, and maybe you can try them out and see if they are for you. So thank you for watching my video, and enjoy your art journaling.